Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakhakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth to the hopeful elect. This is the brother Hadabiar coming back at you with another one. And testing out a new mic, because I've been realizing that, the mic I was using last, in previous videos, it tended, it would cut in and out, or it would kind of buffer, or the audio wasn't clear. I've been seeing some comments, so I finally got a new mic. So Lord willing, the audio is better and and much more clear. So yeah, just gonna wanted to go into like the terror of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and when he comes back, when Yahushai comes back and cracks those clouds and is on his massive chariot, he's not coming back, to play games. A lot of people, you know, Esau, starting off with Esau, Esau has you know changed, the image. They have changed the name. They have tried to. They have, you know, they have been pushing, a false narrative, on our power, which is Yahweh Shai, and that's who the world ignorantly calls, Jesus Christ, and they're pushing this narrative like that, God loves everybody, and everyone can be saved, but Yahweh Shai is going to put all that to rest when he comes back. Because when he comes back, he's not coming back to play games. He's coming back to judge this place. Judge you damn Edomites for everything that you've done unto the children of Israel. To judge you heathens, for partaking in that, and then to judge, 2/3 of Israel, for all the wickedness that you've done, and denying your power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So I want to start off with 2 Corinthians 5:11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest to his consciousness. So, yeah, that's what we have to do. We have to tell you, we have to tell Jake out there, we have to warn Israel that that the Most High, is not to be played with. He's coming back with a severe, judgment. And, if you do not get right with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you're going to be judged, because, people are going to be frightened and scared when Yahushua returns. It's going to, and even leading up, to his return, the time of Jacob trouble is going to be a time, like it says, never before seen. The likes of it has never happened. It has never took place, here on earth. Despite, all the wickedness and all the things that have happened in history, leading up to now, the terror that Yahushua is coming with is, we can't even imagine. The scriptures go into it, and you visualize it, but to witness it is is it's going to be crazy. And like it says, even the elect, we're frightened, because even the elect are going to, we're going to see our power. We're going to understand, that that this is Yahweh Shai, but at the same time, oh, we're gonna be terrified because like, oh, are we gonna make it? Are we gonna get onto those chariots? Lord willing, and just seeing him in all his glory, it's gonna be beautiful, but terrifying at the same time. So we're telling Jake, what is to come, and that Yahweh Shai is not a man to play with, and that's why of this next precept, Matthew 10:34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send so think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man against to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the mother-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be of his own household. So the Lord is not coming back. Yahweh Shai is not coming back to save everyone, like these Christians like to say. Yahweh Shai is not coming back to, you know, tell all the nations, calm down, let's get along. Let's all hold hands. Let's all believe. Let's put aside our beliefs and come together as one. No, Yahweh Shai is coming back to fuck this place up. You know, coming back with severe. He's coming back with chaos. Because when Yahweh Shai comes back, people are gonna be bugging out. You know, in the midst of everything, in the midst of the World War III, in the midst of the chariots, and like just the power that's gonna be behind those laser beams and what they're gonna be able to do. People are gonna take note that this man who they may or may not know who he is, but he is Yahweh Shai. He ain't coming for everyone to join hands and get along. He's coming to judge, the day of judgment, and he's come to completely, destroy Babylon the Great, which is America. So this whole thing that everyone could be saved, and the all the the Lord is just someone who just loves, and all that stuff is false, because he's coming back to he's coming back to put people against their own home, like it said. you know I'm gonna read a little more. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth the son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, but he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. And that's exactly what it is, though. The elect are going to, put off, that old self, and bear their cross and follow after Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and the elect are not going to, get, they're going to be pardoned, for the sins that they have committed, and and the Lord is going to find salvation, and save them, where the rest of the people are going to be judged, because they didn't want to worship their power, their true power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And what I mean by them, I mean, the Israelites, your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is for you. And whoever's bloodline, goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. we are the true Israelites. So Yahushua is not coming back for no peace. He's coming back to destroy. This is 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Everything. It's major heat. Where just you can just imagine like how hot how hot it's gonna be. For things to just melt. Like melt, not just not like a slow burn, but like just completely melt. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So, that's and the Yahushua is going to come. He's coming back as a thief. People are not going to expect it, just like how people didn't expect it today. Just like how people did not expect it to rain in the days of Noah. It's going to be the same thing like on to now. People are not going to be expecting Yahushua to come back. They're just thinking that things are just going to continue to go on the way that it has been going on, and that wickedness is just going to wax worse and worse and worse and worse. But then Yahushua is gonna he's gonna appear. He's gonna make himself known. Because every eye is gonna see him. You know, and then he's gonna the Lord's gonna get down. And judging this place. Letting out his anger, his frustration that he's been just waiting for the day to let out. This is Zephaniah 1:14. The great day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So, you know, people, the ones who are, proud and strong and think they have it all together and nothing can scare them, man, on this day, when they see Yahushua and see the power that he is capable of, it's gonna be like, them cartoons that you see when, their jaws just drop, just in shock and just awe. The eyes just popping out out of their eyes, because that's it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy to see this. It's gonna be like something out of a movie. Especially when those of us who are into like the animes and the like these different type of superhero movies and whatnot. The Marvels, and just seeing, when you see sometimes you see scenes of just like crazy destruction, or stuff blowing up. It's gonna be 10 times worse. It's gonna be 10 times more dangerous when Yahushua does it. Matter of fact, 100 times, a million times worse when Yahushua does it. And it's gonna be just dark, clouds everywhere, smoke everywhere. No, it's not gonna be no peacetime. It's not gonna be like that image you see in Christian churches with JC in his hands open, and the rainbow behind him, and everyone just all smiles. No, Yahushua returns. He's coming back, with a sword, with his chariots, with those laser beams, to destroy and to judge. You and, get his revenge. You know? Get his revenge for what they did to him when he was here. You know, the Lord's still waiting. So Joel 2:1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai cometh, for it is nigh at hand. You've seen this again, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after, even the years of many generations. So, seeing the same thing. This is a day of darkness. A day. It's gonna be a sad day and a terrifying day for anyone who is not of the elect. Because for the elect, this is gonna be uh you know a crazy time with everything that's going to be going on, with all the chaos that's going to be going on. But it's going to be that beautiful day of salvation. That day that we get to that our eyes get to witness. The power that we've been following and serving and fearing and putting all hope and trust in. To finally see Him. You know, while everyone else is going to be terrified. Not to say that we're not going to be terrified, because we realize the magnitude and the power, that Yahweh Shai, has, but at the same time, we're going to be giving all praises to Him. So in the midst of all I'm in the midst of all this, I'm in the midst of all the chaos and darkness. This is going to be this, I'd like to see the heading, this terrible visitation. It is going to be, beautiful, you know, for the elect. And we pray, that we're of the elect. Verse 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. So, Babylon the Great, which is America, is going to be completely, destroyed. If you're on the shores of that land and you are not of the elect, you are going to die. Point blank, period. And the Lord is going to judge other places on the earth. Canada's real close to America, so parts of here, best believe, especially the close to the ones, the areas closer to the American border, very well, get hit with some nuclear fire. We don't know for sure. We see that. We can envision it. Especially in these popular cities like Toronto, Vancouver and Edmonton. You never know. But at the end of the day, there's no escaping the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And like I said, America is going to be completely made desolate. It's going to be a wasteland. This day is not a day to play around. The Lord is terrible. It's like Ecclesiasticus chapter 43 and 29. The Lord is terrible and very great, and marvelous is His power. So He's a terrible power to not be messed with. But He's marvelous in everything He does. He's perfect. And that terrible day is fastly approaching. The economy is going to shit. There ain't no jobs. Shit's expensive. People are waxing worse. The increasing of wars. The push of of AI, digital wallets, that C-hip, all these things are leading up unto the day when Yahushua is going to return. Prophecy is speeding up. We can see it. We can feel it. We can feel that, shit's going to get bad. It ain't going to get better because ain't nothing getting better. These bodies, these flesh, these flesh sinful bodies, can only take so much. Just the air's polluted, the food is shit. So Yahushua, he's gotta come back, and judge this wicked place and judge these wicked people, and then set up this place in righteousness and in the right way, So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakodash, and once again, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim that pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. I pray this lesson was edifying. Lord willing, until the next one, Shalom.